Oh, doggy. We get all the 2-year-olds left. I love talking about the 2-year-olds. We just dropped the kids off at Jody's. Jody lives 10 minutes from our house. We were on our way home from the barn. We went to the ski hill. We had lunch with a million kids. And then we went to the barn. Amy wanted to poult us up White Tiger's feet. And then we were coming home. Jody called and said, hey, can the kids come over? His kids are the same age as our kids. So obviously they wanted to. So here we are. I finished all the videos except the 2-year-olds. I want to get right to it. Long days. Now, a little mixed this week. I didn't have a top 10 because the last 3 sets were some of our better horses and they couldn't go. And it was only because the weather was great. It was +3 and sunny out. And as soon as it went up over 0 and the sun hit it, woof, swamp right away. So that's what happens when you have a lot of ice and mud mixed together. Ice and dirt mixed together make mud. I learned that in science. So we'll get right to it. Adrenaline Rush, he keeps coming forward. First ever training set win, I believe, was the other day, and he looked very, very good doing it. Run me down with Tanzanite Tricks. I was trotting pretty hard in the end of it. I was very happy with Tanzanite Tricks, and Adrenaline Rush put it on me. Finishing up, Kevin was happy with him. I was happy with him. Everybody that saw him should have been happy with him. Very happy to see this horse. You don't see that massive transformation we talked about with War We Was Up or Jazzy Judy, but this constant incremental progression from Adrenaline Rush. I'm very, very happy with him. Argento didn't get to go. He was in the later set. I'm just going to leave it as it. If they didn't go, I'm just going to tell you they didn't go. They're the same as they were last week. A lot of these horses have been going very good for quite a while, so not a big deal. Argento certainly has been going good for a while. No concerns there. Barbie's Crown was the last set. Very heavy, muddy track, and she just couldn't function through it. She got a little pacey. I'm going to start going with her this week. I think she's had her time to cool down and put weight on, which she did. Now it's time to get back to work. I'll start going with her tomorrow if it's not too muddy. Beef and Cheddar, he didn't go yesterday, just jogged. We come on the track with the 7 set, all ready to train, and James and I looked at one another and just said, we can't train at this track's too deep. So Beef and Cheddar jogged, Braemar jogged, Better's Hope jogged. They all jogged yesterday, looked good, but they jogged. Blue Monk trained. He was very, very good yesterday in his training. He was second, I believe, to Broadway Roll. Broadway Roll was fantastic. She's up in just a second. Between those two is Brilliant Corners. He was good yesterday. Danny was very happy with him. We've been changing his shoeing, changing his equipment, and he appears to be on the straight and narrow now. Broadway Roll, 3 laps on the front end. Had her ears up, just toyed with them, played with them. Blue Monk chased her all the way to the wire, but she's just a sweetheart to drive. You know, as a driver, there's some horses you just pick the lines up, and they're just nice to drive. Broadway Roll does everything right. She's just a sweetheart, and she was very good again yesterday. Cambridge Star trained well in the morning. Can't Deny My Spirit. A lot of people ask me, so how is he? What's he doing? Just relax. As I said to you, a little minor issue. He's 3 weeks off from training, so he won't even be in the next round set. He might miss the next 2, but jogged well. I went with him yesterday at 8:05 in the morning, and he looked fine from what I could see. Can't Muscle Me was good yesterday, but coming off a couple of breaks before that, just trying to get her squared away. I think once we get a track that's consistent, I think the good thing about the weather being the way it was all winter is not a lot of frost to come out of the track. So I suspect that soon enough we'll have that consistent, firmer track, and I believe it will start soon. So I'm just trying to figure out who's behind us. I think it might be Paul McDonnell. So Can't Muscle Me. Good yesterday. I expect her. I'd like to see this to be a foundation point for her where she starts moving forward again. Captain's Maid. She's going to come up to the top barn. Trained all right yesterday. Little fat, the old captain. So we're going to take it easy with her for the next little bit. Or not take it easy with her. We're going to train that fat off of her. So Captain's Maid's coming back up to the big leagues on Monday or Tuesday. We're just switching some horses around. Tipsy and Dixie looks great. She's going to Harry Polton's barn, so I decided to bring Captain's Maid up with us for a little bit. Carry a Big Stick. We're going to start him with the hobbles this week. Very happy with what I've seen from him.
This fast. It was so slow. But it was good until...
That's true. So Carry a Big Stick. We're going to start with the hobbles with him on, I guess, Monday morning. Cut the Line was good again. She trained earlier on in the set. She was good. Darling Please didn't. She made a couple of breaks Now, the good news is there's not a lot of people concerned since I'm the only one that owns her.
Yeah.
But I'll be going with Darling Please for the next week, see if we can get the wrinkles out of her. Danny says she's really fast and durable and tough like a little pit bull. So it's just a matter of getting her squared away. Desperado didn't get a chance to train yesterday, neither did Eternity Road. First Glance didn't get a chance to train also. All three of those horses have been doing great things the last little while. Eternity Road made his first break in a long time last week. Fox Valley Britska, James said, the hobbles were too tight last week. I'm just going to let them out a little bit. He let them out a little bit. They still looked a little snug. He made a break yesterday, so he said, you just can't be nice to this horse. He said he's got to wear his hobbles tight. He's got to wear a snake cord and a brain cord. You just can't give him an inch. He's still got that little dirt inside of him. And he's better now, but it was so funny. James made a break. I said, how those hobbles looking now, James? There was a lot of beeps. If it was a video that was on TV, his response would have been laden with beeps. But they both learned a very important lesson. Britska learned that James is an idiot, and James learned that Britska will take advantage of him at any given time. It's just funny going with him. He's a fast little colt, but just can't give him an inch, even now. So Fox Valley Britska made a little break yesterday. Furley Fringes, she went the right way of the track. Her and Warwee was up were the last two to even go any sort of speed the right way of the track. Yesterday the track was getting bad. Furley Fringes was good again. We're going to put that closed back on her. She's starting to figure out where the gate is again, starting to wander a little bit. But other than that, she's been so good of late. No concerns with Furley Fringes. Girls with Swirls trained good. Gray is the new red, ran me down yesterday and looked good. It was timely. We put her in that stake race. I told her we put her in that stake race, and then she was sick. She couldn't train last week. I'm like, oh no. It's a long way from that stake race, but still, the perception was, Gray is the new red's this a nice horse for us, and now she's scratch sick. So it didn't, in the bigger scheme of things, everybody should recognize it wasn't a big deal. We gave her the week off, and she came roaring back yesterday. She looked very, very good yesterday in training. GW Chrome was good. He was in the last set, the train set 6. He won the set easily. Just this guy here, as I said to the guys that were taking care of him, he doesn't like the hobbles. So it's going to take a while for him to get used to wearing them, and he's starting to get used to them now. We took all the weight off him, which would help his knees, lighten them up front, put the hobbles on him. It took a good month for him to take to them properly, but he knows how to wear them now, and he's been really, really good of late. Very impressed with the way he looked on Saturday. Holy Chick beat everybody on Saturday. Made them like it too. She's a nice filly. Doesn't wear any boots or anything for the most part, and can really trot. Just very impressed with the way Holy Chick has carried herself over the last little while. What's wrong with you? We traded two noisy kids for a noisier kid? What do we got now? Italian Grit. Amy had found a big splint on him. We cryoled that mark. Taking care of that. He's not going to be on my list for this week, so I want to start going with him. Amy is correct. It likely won't be tomorrow. It will likely be on Tuesday. Iglara M was great again. Gee, she's really... it's hard to believe. I had told you how surprised I was how that minor shoeing change made a major difference in White Tiger. Like, totally different night and day type horse. We put the same type of shoeing change on Iglara M. She was interfering in the same type of manner. And what a difference in her. Man, oh man, she looks like $1 million now, that filly. Iglara M, very, very good. That's the horse that the Gray filly ran down. Gray is the new red, but we were smoking on the end of it. And he beat me fair and square, but she looked some kind of good doing it. I'm a Lovely Lady was good again. She was third to us. We were flying on the end of it. There was no possible way she could catch up yesterday. But she held her own and trotted right with us all the way to the wire. I'm Hill on Wheels, trained early. He looked very, very good. Jazzy Judy, she's now in her time off. Her knees got a little hot. She didn't seem sore on them, but physically to look at them, they looked a little sore. We did have them blistered. Once we get that blister off, we're going to get her knees checked to make sure they're okay. The reason being, we're going to give her time off, but she may have to stand in the stall for a couple of weeks and then go out in the field for 3 weeks rather than just going out to the field for a month. We'll let the vet decide that in the coming week. Jesse Balboa was good again. Keystone Raven continues to improve now. Just circling back for 1 second, Jesse Balboa is a little bit behind everybody else, and I know James thinks that I'm in a big rush for him to catch up, and I wasn't. I said, just take your time. He made a little break yesterday, but James said he was trotting perfect. The track was starting to get a little bad at that point, so not. Excuse me. Oh Lord. So the track was starting to get a little bad by then. It wasn't his fault, but James said he was trotting great. Otherwise, Keystone Raven is really coming forward now. Her attitude has changed completely. Really happy with the transformation of that filly. Let's Roll On didn't get a chance to train yesterday. Excuse me again. Not a big deal. He's been really, really good of late. He's still got a long way to go to be where I want him to be, but definitely on the positive side of where he was and where I need him to be is where he is right now. Lincoln Hanover continues to improve. He was good again yesterday. Miss Meringue was very, very good yesterday. Every time I go with this filly, I like her. You know, James, she made a break on James, then she was a little bit flat, and I said, is she going to be the horse we want her to be? Every time I go with her, I'm left answering the same way, and that's yes. Mama Knows Best, very, very good again yesterday. This is like 3 wins in a row for Mama Knows Best. Momo was great again yesterday also too. Geez, you can't help but like this filly the way she goes, and I think we did a great job managing her on those hard tracks in the winter. Now that the corks are about to come off, I think you're really going to see Momo jump forward. My Jazz has been great too since the hobbles were put on her. She looks like $1 million. No free lunch. We had a couple little tiny curbs. Looked like they could have been a little pesky. The vet cryoed them on no free lunch, and he'll be off for another week probably, just of jogging. When we cryo those curbs, he's just no training, just very light jogging for a week or so. Northern Blizzard, he made a little break yesterday. He's getting a little warm on Danny. I think I'm going to go with him next time. I like what I see. What's wrong with you? Put that window down, will you? I like what I see in Northern Blizzard, and very happy to see what he's been doing of late, except for the breaks. When I see him trotting, he looks good. Those mistakes, I think, are just him acting up. And I think I might go with him next week, and we'll see what's going on with him. Off-Road Hanover. Amy loves this horse. The only question I have is, how good is he? I think he's good. She says he's good. I'm going to cut him loose this week. I want to see how Off-Road Hanover looks. We have...
Can I get a triple venti mocha, please?
Triple venti mocha. Anything else for you?
No.
No, that's it. Thank you.
We'll see you at the window.
Thanks.
Where are we at? Off-Road Hanover. So I'd like to go mile 30 with him this week, but I'm going to go with him on Wednesday. I want to see how he feels. What was that? What? I want to see how he is, because he looks like a nice horse. I just noticed the other day, we personally have a lot of shares left in this guy, which is fine. I like him. There's no concerns there. I want to see how much I like him. So come Wednesday, he's going to answer a lot of questions for me, I believe. Perfect Record. He made a little noise yesterday when Mario was grabbing into him. We're going to have to get him changed around also a little bit. A lot of these horses, we've been going, you guys may have noticed, we go the same speed for the last 5 weeks with them virtually. And I think a lot of the horses are getting a little bored, right? They want that progression. You can only do, practices so long before you got to get a game in. And I think, it's not that we're going to race them or anything, but they want to get cut loose a little bit. Eternity Road, I think that played a role in that break last week. And I think... also Perfect Record, the way he is right now, same reason. So Rito Sunshine's going to get castrated on Tuesday. Harry's got him pretty well healthy. He says, let's castrate him. That'll give him another week of just jogging, no training. I think we can get his health under control then. Smart plan. I think it's bang on exactly what he needs. And Rito Sunshine's going to be castrated on Tuesday. Rose Run Why Not was up with the trotters that were left to train yesterday. She was in with the toughest bunch and did all she could. She was third closing on the outside and looked very, very good. She's really been impressive. I said that her and Miss Meringue were twins at the sale. They still look it. They do everything the same. They trot the same. They both seem powerful. Miss Meringue had a little more pop to her yesterday, but still, Rose Run Why Not has been absolutely great the last little while. Round Midnight didn't get to train. He's still got a long way to go. It's pretty hard. Round Monkey. It's pretty hard to get too excited about Round Midnight yet. What?
This is Blue Monk.
Oh no, Round Monk, yeah. Round Monkey. Round Midnight. He just, he's got a long way to go. A long way to go before he impresses me. But he's coming. Yeah, Mario said he was good last week. I saw him on the track. He didn't get to train yesterday. He was in the last set. But he is getting better. So we're going to take all the progression we can get from this guy. Roy Hill, moved Roy Hill up to the top barn. George needed an extra horse. George goes to Ohio anyway. Roy Hill looks some kind of good. You guys saw the movie put on them last week, and he just looks like a nice horse on the track. I was talking to Jim, who'd flown in to watch some of his horses train. Unfortunately, he didn't get to see them go, but we were walking through the barn talking about horses, and he asked about Roy Hill. I just said, he's a nice horse, and he is. So Roy Hill has been excelling. He had an A+ by his name at Christmas, and I suspect it's going to stay there for quite a while. Set the Mood. We backed him off like a few other horses. His knees were sore. He was just sore in a bunch of places. But we just went, what's wrong?
You didn't eat it.
Yeah, I'm going to eat them. Just cookies from last night and a muffin from this morning. I'm going to eat them both. That's what I'm having for supper. That's right, you heard me. I am a muffin and a cookie for supper. Set the Mood. So we backed off a little bit with Set the Mood. And I think that will pay dividends. Another horse that wants to do his work. Well, I don't want him out there sore, especially when a horse works so hard to be good, works so hard at his game, takes his job seriously. I want to give him all the benefit of the doubt and Set the Mood. We're just going to back off for a few weeks with him. So Admirable trained great again on Saturday. She's been really, really good for quite a while. Saurus Blue Chip was good again. He looks like he's getting sounder every time we go with him, which is great. Very, very happy with, this guy. Can't figure out how to work the drive-through. Oh, there's the curb. Yeah, he backed up to get, anyway, whatever. Saurus Blue Chip was good again on Saturday. Stacy Hanover, that was the last set. I was wondering how she'd be. She's a funny filly. She get a little pacey once in a while, but when she's trotting, man, she feels strong. And she looked very, very good yesterday. Her and Walk on the Moon battled all the way to the wire. I think Walk on the Moon beat me, but we were trotting hard all the way down the lane in what was getting to be a heavy track. Sunshine and May kind of run away with Kevin again. I told him, you better put that snake cord on that filly. Everybody thinks because she's so tiny that you're just going to control her. Well, she's like wrestling a little bear, right? So he went by me. He's got his whip in his mouth, and he's hanging on to her. I said, how's that snake cord working out, Kevy? And he just shook his head and kept going. She's a sweet little filly. She just loves, what did Ava say? Ava said, Dad, she just likes to compete. She's right. She does like to compete. Sunshine and May just loves to do her work. Surreal Love is growing on Harry, much like he grew on me. Harry loves him. I love him. When he's on the track, you'd never know that we gave next to nothing for him. And Harry was shocked when I said what we paid for him. But obviously you can't see what he looks like. You can only buy a horse on pedigree, and his pedigree is quite light. But I'll tell you what, he makes up for all of it on the track. This horse loves his job and knows what it is. And everybody that's ever been around Surreal Love likes Surreal Love. What's wrong, honey? You don't like Surreal Love? Addie's the first person that didn't like Surreal Love. Sweet Ambitions trained good yesterday. She just followed around GW Chrome. Sweet Ambitions got a lot of work to do. She looks like a pose. She looks like she just goes out and does her work. I expect more of her, and she's going to be in for a little bit of a training session, quite a few training sessions, hard ones, over the next few weeks, because she's got some questions to answer real soon. I want to see her working harder. She's bred to be a nice filly, looks like a nice filly, trots like a nice filly. I can't see any mechanical reason she wouldn't be, but she needs to do more. So Sweet Ambitions, trotting well, doing her work well. I want her to do it a lot more, better. Tanzanite Tricks was much better, made a few little shoeing changes on her. Now, I had talked to Paul, who is a partner of ours on Tanzanite Tricks, and he had asked, quite frankly, is she any good? I obviously can't answer that yet. I can give you an indication. I want to be able to give you an indication, but I don't go with her enough. So I made a point to go with her 2 times this week. Wednesday I went with her. I had spoke to the blacksmith. We made some equipment changes and shoeing changes on her. Pull up a little bit, honey, so I can get the card. And then I went with her on Saturday, and she was very, very good. Really happy with what I saw from Tanzanite Tricks. Going to make a few more changes to her, but I thought she looked great on Saturday. That's My Girl looked pretty good. She was in behind me, and I didn't get to see how she finished up, but I assume she went pretty good. Danny said she was good. The Fat Cobra he was okay. The track was getting muddy, and Disco went with him. I think Disco's scared of him, to be honest, because he made a couple of breaks before in the past on Disco, so I think he just kind of went around with him. Tipsy and Dixie was very good. She was flying on the end of the mile on Saturday. Jacques goes with her all the time and absolutely loves her. She did look good again on Saturday. Walk on the Moon bounced back 100%. This horse, we had him shod, and in fairness, I didn't see the blacksmith take a ton of toe off him, but enough that he was very uncomfortable. Hey. It took about a week for his toes to grow back in. Another week for him to get comfortable. That was yesterday. That was Saturday. Yesterday. Hey, what's the problem there? that was yesterday, and I was very happy with what I saw from Walk on the Moon. He looked like his old self. Just a note to self, his feet bother him. He's got shelly feet, so we have to work on that. You all right there, honey? Warwee was up, and as I said, Frilly Fringes and Warwee was up were the last two horses to train on Saturday. It was getting really muddy. Warwee was up looks great, and Kevin pulled up and he goes, I love this horse. And I said, if you don't like him, you don't like horses. He was bad at the start, but he loves his work right now, and he is very, very good at it. Warwee Welcome just jogged. I'm actually happy she just jogged. 2 weeks of this filly's no problem. She has done a ton of work this year and has really proven that she is amongst the top of the class at our barn. So I was happy that she just jogged well and down, trained good. And then I told all you guys, if you looked at all the videos, won my heart Hanover. I couldn't be more impressed with this filly right now. As I said, we weren't going to train. She was in like the 8th or 9th set. So we took the hobbles off her, took everything off her, just had an open jog and bridle with no head check. And now Jim had flown in. He owns a big piece of One My Heart Hanover. So I said, you know what, Jim, I'll go the right way of the track so you can see her. So open bridle on, no boots, no nothing. You'd think she'd look at the gate, she'd act up. The track's deep and muddy. She's not going to trot very good. She went out 1, 2, 3, 4 like an aged horse. Did her work, went 2 laps the right way after I jogged her 4 laps. So she went a mile maybe in 3 minutes or something. Never put a step in, never acted up, never tried to pull up, and wanted to do more. And just such a smart filly. You know, I'd said this to Amy after. If you want to see where a horse's mindset is about their work and how their work ethic is, jog them or train them in an open bridle and see what they do when they start to get tired. That deep mud, they're going to get tired real quick in it. See what they do. Most of them are going to try and pull up, right? Most of them are going to try and, all right, that's enough for me, and pull up. Not her. She did her work right up until I asked her not to, and she even walked the right way of the track. Never even dawned on her to pull up and wheel around. And I stopped her, turned her around, she went back to the barn. You couldn't ask for a horse to be more dialed in than One My Heart Hanover was, and I was extremely impressed with her yesterday. So a lot went on yesterday. A lot of horses went very, very good miles. And as the day went on, we lost the track, and the last 3 sets couldn't go. Fortunately, vast majority of the horses in those last 3 sets were ahead of the curve, so to speak. So they just got a chance to jog yesterday. So that's it. That's all your videos. A lot going on. Don't forget, we did buy those 4 horses in Australia. I assume I'm going to have to talk to Kelly and Wendy and get those up on the site. I don't know what the billing looks like for them, but I will make sure we get it all taken care of soon. So that, I guess that's 6. We now have 6 horses in Australia. That's your average size stable right now in Canada. So we have 6 horses in Australia right now. Really excited. It's pretty hard to get excited for something that's going to happen a year from now, but I suspect all those horses will sell out quick. I think Daniel Cordina has taken at least a quarter or more of all of them. They're Darren McCall's owners, I think, are going to take a big chunk of that colt that they really wanted, the Mickey colt. They really wanted him bad. So they were prepared to pay 30. He went for 20. I suspect what we're allowed to have will be gone very quickly. And then the 2 Warwee Needy fillies, I really, really like the one that went for 9. And Matt Rue loved the filly. She looks super athletic. He loved the filly. It went for 19. Some great buys, some value, some lessons of value, I suppose. In Australia, I know there was other ways that they could have went, but they opted for the horses that suited their budget, and they stuck to their budget. They bought the horses for less than what they thought they would go for, and congratulations for them. That's fantastic. It doesn't mean it was the right thing to do, but it's definitely the way I would have done it, in the way that we generally buy our horses. So 4 horses purchased in Australia, and they'll be training for the next year before they race. Don't forget about the 2 we have racing right now. This week, we have Girl from Oz and Rockin' Down Under will both be racing this week. I would love to see them both in that race for 120. I don't know how that works, but we're going to find out real soon. So that's it. That's all the videos. We're all done. I will talk to you guys soon. It's going to be a warm week. Going to be some rain coming. I think rain will probably help that track. I like to see a nice hard rain for an afternoon and the sun to come out. And I think the track will be set up for quite a while for us. Hopefully this Saturday. It's on my phone, so I can't tell. I would love to have a drone session this Saturday, but something tells me it might rain. So it might be pushed back to earlier next week or the following Saturday. So that's it. That's all your videos. That's everything. That's all I can talk about and think about. Hope you guys had a great week. Hope you have a better one next week. Take care. Talk to you soon.